Everything on board was just magnificent.
It was beautiful. You walk around like this.
It was meant to be the trip of a lifetime for Ursula Steinberner and Leon Sharp. Their first time at sea aboard the luxurious cruise liner, the Ruby Princess.
It was something like being in Las Vegas, in the hotel in Las Vegas. Just like a floating hotel. Magnificent.
But the ship is now infamous for a deadly cluster of coronavirus deaths and infections.
No, we did not know there was anybody infected with coronavirus, and the checks were non-existent.
The Steinberners fell ill after the ship was controversially allowed to dock in Sydney.
I just started to perspire. I was wringing wet. Ursula seen me and she said, "What's wrong with you?" I said, I feel that hot, I'm burning up. I've never been so sick in my life.
As a kidney transplant recipient, Ursula was hit hard by the virus and spent 10 days in intensive care at Royal Adelaide Hospital.
I did at one stage think, this is curtains for me, you only get so many chances.
Ursula and Leon are still recovering, but despite their ordeal, they're eager to return to the high seas.
We can't wait to go on another cruise. We've already been down and seen them at Hello World, where we booked our last one.
So, and we just can't wait.
Yeah, can't wait. A lot of people said, "You got rocks in your head." Why? I said, "You've never been on a cruise. This is our first cruise, and I tell you what, it won't be our last."
When 9/11 happened and people got fearful of air travel, people said, "Well, I'll never get on a plane again." Well, that lasted about a month, and then all of a sudden the prices came so good that fear went out the door, greed took over, and people started travelling.
Phil Hoffman's travel agency books 10,000 cruise holidays each year. He says most people are rescheduling cruises rather than cancelling.
And we're seeing a lot of people now just waiting to get the green light that they can cruise again.
Tourism researcher Dr Sarah Gardner says while the industry has a loyal following, it has suffered significant reputational damage and must make changes.
It's going to require quite a lot of work by the industry to rebuild consumer confidence and really address some of the concerns passengers have in terms of maintaining their health and safety while they're on board the ship.
The industry's peak body, the Cruise Lines International Association, declined 730's request for interview, but says new health and safety standards are being developed around passenger screening, cleaning and medical treatment.
So I think we may see a 40 to 45% decrease in numbers, initially to get all the things right about crowd, social distancing, going to the shows, how many people allowed into the shows. I think buffets will disappear.
Well, I wouldn't personally go on a cruise ship at the moment until I have a better feeling of why it's occurred. But fundamentally, we need to know how we can get better circulation of air in enclosed spaces so we lower the risk, and how we keep numbers down, and how we make sure surfaces and hands are adequately cleaned.
One infectious diseases expert says the cruise industry has a difficult task ahead.
More cleaning is important. Screening is important. Anybody with any illness shouldn't get on. But we've got to remember, only half of people with COVID, for instance, have fevers. So I think there's a lot we need to do and know before we can say cruise ships, yet alone safe, are actually at a low risk.
Retirees Kathy and Bill Klein-Muhlman have two major passions, golf and travel. In March, they were cruising on another ship, the Ovation of the Seas, when the coronavirus pandemic hit.
We were told we could get off the ship in Sydney. We didn't have to self-isolate or quarantine. Then on the fourth day, we got a letter from the New South Wales Health telling us that we had to quarantine because there had been passengers with the virus.
Even after spending 2 weeks in isolation, they've got their next cruise booked.
Yay, a part.
But it's been postponed until next year.
We have rebooked and we will not do that cruise unless the world is reopened and also maybe there's a vaccine or the virus is under control.
We love travelling. We like the social environment on the ship. It has a lot of pluses.
It's not clear when the industry will restart, but travel agent Phil Hoffman hopes domestic cruises might resume this year if they can be made COVID-19 safe.
We'd love to see, cruise ships back in the waters by, late September, early October, because that's the prime season coming up, October through to March.
I think it's very optimistic and I don't think realistic. I think in the short term, or even over the next 6 to 12 months, cruise ships will be an increased risk compared to other sort of holidays where you just go to a hotel, for instance, near the seaside.
After their bout of coronavirus, Ursula and Leon are still suffering side effects such as shortness of breath. But that hasn't stopped them dreaming about their next cruise holiday.
So next year could be our year.
Yeah.
If you live your life worrying about what you're going to get,
You'll never go anywhere.
yeah, and that's what we want to do. We're going on another cruise.
Live life to the fullest.
That's it.
Hi, I'm Lee Sales. Thanks for watching this story. If you'd like to watch more of 730's stories, they are on the left of your screen. And tap on the button below to subscribe and get the latest from ABC News.